Hey there, Batman. What's up? What's your question? I've been wondering about type 1 allergic reactions. Oh, great. Come over to the blackboard. Let's talk about it. So while there are 4 types of allergic reactions, we're going to focus on type 1 hypersensitivity. Now, these are IgE mediated. So in this case, a person would be exposed to an antigen, and their B cells would be stimulated to produce IgE antibodies specific to that antigen. Those antibodies would then bind to receptor sites on the surface of tissue, mast cells, and blood basophils. Then, if you're exposed to that same allergen again, it cross-links with the bound IgE on those sensitized cells. That results in anaphylactic degranulation, which causes an immediate explosive release of these preformed mediators, in particular histamine. Now, when those mast cells release that histamine, histamine causes vasodilation, so you're going to see a blood pressure drop. And the vessel walls get leaky, so you can see that edema. The person's blood pressure falls, they start to have edema, they have smooth muscle spasm. You see that wheal and flare and itchy rash of anaphylaxis. And bronchospasm could be to the point of death. Holy cow, that seems serious. You bet, Batman, and that's why we take it serious.
Dr. Arthur, could you give me a clinical example of something to help me to remember to be a safe provider?
Sure, Batman. Let's start by imagining we have a patient who's never been exposed to a medicine. On her first exposure, there's no obvious allergic reaction. However, her B cells have been stimulated to produce IgE antibodies specific to that antigen. Then her body just lays and waits for that next exposure to the same antigen. This time, the antigen cross-links with the bound IgE on those sensitized cells, resulting in that anaphylactic degranulation, where all that histamine is released. That histamine release causes immediate vasodilation, blood vessel walls getting leaky, edema, blood pressure falling, smooth muscle spasm and bronchospasm, and that itch and flare rash. It could be so severe that your patient could die.
That sounds terrible, but I have a question. Let's say she took the medicine in a different form, like maybe a cream or an injection. What would happen?
I like your curiosity, Batman. Watch and let's find out. No! Stop! No! So you see, exposure to the same offending antigen will cause the same response or worse. So don't do it. It doesn't matter if it's eye drops, creams, or ointments.
I can't believe you did that, Dr. Arthur.
Well, this was just a Lego person. Let's not really do it in clinic.
Yes, I'm okay. That was just a dramatization.
Thanks, Dr. Arthur. Do you have any more tips for the students?
Yes, Batman. Thanks for asking. I would like our students to be sure they understand the difference between the type 1 allergic reaction rash, which is the one that's hivey, wheal and flare and itchy because of the histamines, and the morbilliform rash. If they don't know the difference, they want to be sure and look that up.
How about a close-up of that board?
You got it. Batman and I both would like to thank you for your attention and patience and humor with this presentation.